everybody! So I just finished watching the My Little Pony movie, and this is of course the feature film based on the Friendship is Magic series that started in 2010, I believe, and it became very, very popular. And I think probably this movie is a couple of years too late. I think the pony craze and the brony phase has dwindled off a little bit. I probably would have been better if it had come out around 2014 or 15. But anyway, I went to see it, and I have to tell you, I really, really enjoyed it. I really liked it. Like, I think that if you are a fan of Friendship is Magic, if you're a fan of the series, if you're a brony or a little girl, whatever, I think you'll really like this movie. I really do. There may be some hardcore fans that will pick it apart for different things that someone as me is like a medium fan. Like, I'm not going to notice maybe those like little things that maybe a hardcore fan will notice. Like, I'm like right in between. I really enjoy it, really like it. I own 3 of the seasons on DVD, but I'm not like so into it that like I would notice that, oh, that background is wrong or that little thing is wrong. But anyway, so I think what surprised me the most about this movie is I had no idea it was a musical. And like, when I say musical, it's not just it doesn't have just like 2-3 songs. This has, like, for instance, Smurfs had like 2 songs. No, this has like 13 songs, and they're good songs. And what impressed me the most is how well they are sung. Like, they got top level talent. You have Taye Diggs in here. You have Emily Blunt. I had no idea she was such a good singer. She's awesome. You do have Sia singing a song. That's a tongue twister. But honestly, hers was probably my least favorite, even though it was fine. It just, it was more sort of techno than I prefer, the more Broadway style. I also had Kristen Chenoweth singing a song, and they had all of the main 6 voice actors there, and they sang songs. Tara Strong, Ashley Ball, Andrea Libman, Tabitha St. Germain, and Kathy Wesseluk in the roles, and they were great, perfect. They did a great job with the roles. I thought that all the voice acting was really good. It wasn't distracting celebrity voices like sometimes happens. Like, they really fit the role, and it worked. Like, there's some, like, so many DreamWorks films, like, it just kind of takes you out of the movie because it's like, why is Will Smith this fish? You know, it doesn't really make sense. And but in this case, I thought it worked really well. And Zoe Saldana sings a song, and she's really good. I'm Your Friend, I'm the Friend You Need, was sung by Taye Diggs. He plays Clapper. He's this cat that kind of befriends the girls, and it was a really catchy song, and he's a professional Broadway singer, so of course he did a good job singing the song. We know that. And I don't know, I just really liked the songs. They were really good. And so then the other great thing about this movie is the animation was so good. And there's a lot of weirdness, I feel like, in the animation community that I don't understand. Everybody wants 2D animation, right? But they only want hand-drawn, or the look of hand-drawn animation, which, let's be honest, hand-drawn animation hasn't really been, like you're tracking really obscure indie properties like Bill Plimpton does, where he hand draws everything and it's really sketchy, or The Girl Without Hands, or you do get some indie animation that is truly hand drawn, but most indie animation is used. They use programs like Flash to make their animation. It's 2D, but it's not necessarily hand drawn. And I hear all these people say that they don't like Flash animation. I don't really understand that. I don't really care. I think that any animation can be done well, and it can be done horribly. I've seen 2D animated films that were amazing. I've seen 2D animation films, hand-drawn, that were horrible. Crazy Nights. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and that's 2D hand-drawn animation. And I've seen CG animation that is amazing, and I've seen CG animation that is junk. I've seen Flash animation that is great, and I've seen Flash animation that is junk. I've seen stop motion, I've seen motion capture, every kind. Like, all it matters to me is it consistent? Does it work? Does it draw you into the story? And I think this animation totally did. I think it's totally in keeping with the style of the show. And I thought that it had like a little bit extra sort of sparkle that the show had. And I was just thrilled to have a 2D animated film from a major company on the big screen. That was just a real treat to me, and I thought it was just very, they had some detail to it, they had some, it was bright, it was colorful, it was fun. I enjoyed the animation very much. So the music and the animation were the big standout for me with this film, and I just really had fun with it. Story, let me just tell you a little bit about the story without giving any spoilers. Basically, they're having this like friendship festival that Twilight Sparkle is sort of leading, I guess. And in the middle of the festival, this sort of spaceship, whatever, comes, and it has this bad pony named Tempest. And Tempest is voiced by Emily Blunt, and she has a broken unicorn horn, whatever. And she has these like balls that like freeze, and so she's trying to capture all of the princesses. And there's this boss called Storm King that is voiced by Leo Schreiber, who has made this like deal with her. If she gets the princesses and gets their power, then he will help her with her horn. And so basically, like, the main six are able to sort of break free from this, and they sort of go on this journey to find the Queen of the Hippogriffs. And they're supposed to help them with all of this that has happened and get them to defeat Tempest and the Storm King. Well, then from there on, it is fairly predictable, I must admit. But they try to kind of keep it unpredictable by having them meet like a whole bunch of different characters. They meet these pirates. They meet Clapper the cat. They meet they do finally meet the hippogriffs, so they're underwater, and so they meet them, and there's just various things that they meet along the way. Liked the girls, I liked the message of friendship. There's some conflict between them at a certain point, and it'd be a really nice message to girls about friendship, which is the main point of the show. So friendship is magic, and so I thought that worked really well. And like I said, the voice work, the characters, everything I really enjoyed. So there were some things that were, I guess, negatives about this film. I think that I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't have the highest Rotten Tomatoes score out there, because I just think we're in this weird space right now where people, it's just not in vogue to have traditional villains in animated films or in films in general. Like, villains have to be like either anti-heroes or like surprise villains or layered or whatever, and just to have like your sort of big baddie who is like sort of a more Saturday morning kind of cartoon kind of villain is just not very in vogue. And so I think that they may come down on this movie because of that. Because for a lot of the movie, characters like Tempest and things are very just your classic kind of villain. But I really like those kind of villains, and I miss them from animation. Another thing I think that they could criticize this movie for is it does feel like a two-parter of the show. I don't know, like, it doesn't necessarily feel that cinematic. The animation is a little bit better, but there will probably be critics who say just wait and rent it, because I don't think you necessarily need to see it on the big screen. And so I can see that as a criticism. Another thing that they might criticize, and I think that maybe hardcore fans might be critical of, is the fact that really Twilight Sparkle and Pinkie Pie get almost all the lines. A little bit of Rainbow Dash, maybe more, but I don't know. All the rest of them have very few lines. Applejack's, who's my favorite, said very little. She has like 3 lines in the whole movie. So that could be a disappointment for some fans. It's also somewhat similar to certain episodes, particularly two-parters, that I'm sure that people will, might, if you're a hardcore fan, might have an issue with. I don't have an issue with that. And some people will say, oh, it's very predictable, but I didn't mind that because I thought it was really executed well. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it had really good songs, and I thought the animation was really good. And so that's all I really needed out of this movie to thoroughly enjoy myself. And so yeah, that's kind of what I can. It does, like I said, it does have a nice message, and I think it's not too scary. Like, this is something that I think you can easily take your kindergartners, your preschool age kids, the whole family, and they will really enjoy it. So I think particularly little girls will just love it because it's so cute. So that is my thought. I don't know. I guess I would give it like a B+. But I really am debating, do I like this or Captain Underpants better? I think Captain Underpants is probably the more complex film. It's the harder film to make. It was the more, but this, I just love those songs so much, and I thought it was so pretty. So, and I just it was a pleasant surprise. I was looking forward to the film. I was hoping it would be good, but it was better than I expected it to be, for sure. So at least I'm going to say B+ right now, but it's thoroughly entertaining, and I think if you go in with an open mind, I think you'll enjoy it. I really do. If people that just like outright hate the Pony franchise or hate the Bronies or whatever, which I don't really understand why people hate the Bronies, because I think that there's a little bit of sexism in that, honestly, because I think that if they were playing and having fun with G.I. Joes or Star Wars or whatever that's seen as masculine, then there's no problem with that. I mean, you go to Comic-Con and there's a million guys buying toys, basically, and it's no problem. But if they buy or are sort of into something that's deemed as feminine, then it's this huge thing. It's a huge problem for some people. And so, no, I don't have a problem with that at all. I think it's totally cool if you like what you like. And I think it's a good show, and I think it's a good movie. So I think that's my opinion on the My Little Pony movie. When you see it, let me know what you think. I'll be really curious. And yeah, thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!